Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on Icthlarin's Little Helper quest. Now, for this quest you need the following requirements. So, you must complete the following quests: Diamond in the Rough, Stolen Hearts, Gertrude's Cat, and the Restless Ghost quest. That's it for the requirements. Now onto the items. So you're going to need a kitten, a cat, an overgrown cat, or a Hellcat. You will need a Tinderbox. The one in your tool belt doesn't count. You must bring one in your actual inventory, and you will have to lose it during the quest as well, hence why you need physically one in your inventory. You will need a full Waterskin, which will be taken, a pile of salt or a bag of salt. You will need some linen, which you can obtain during the quest for 30 GP. I'll show you where to get that. You will want a Willow Log and a bucket of sap. Now, to get a bucket of sap, you need to use an empty bucket on an evergreen tree. The easiest way to find them is just north of Falador, near the Lodestone. There's a load of evergreens near there. Just use your bucket on the sap, and you'll on the tree, sorry, and you'll get a bucket of sap. And the following are items I recommend. So if you can use any weight reducing equipment, definitely worth bringing that. If not, if you have the ability to use the spell, bring runes for Teleknetic-Grab, as that will help you with an obstacle a bit later on, which will make sense when I talk about it. You'll need a fair few coins if you're planning to use magic carpets and supplies to travel back and forth. You'll need a few water skins just to get you to the quest start point, and that as well, make sure that you don't use up all the water, because one does need to get taken from you fully filled up. You will want to bring some food with you in case of trap damage and being attacked, again, which will make sense a bit further on. And also, if you have access to Pollnivneach teleport scrolls, makes it very easy to get to the quest starting point. So that is it for the requirements and items. Now on the quest starting point. So we're currently at Pollnivneach. We've got here by using the Pollnivneach scroll that I mentioned to you, and you can buy these teleport scrolls from the Grand Exchange for not an excessive amount of money, and it also speeds up getting to the quest starting point. If, however, you don't want to do this, you can literally teleport to the Catherby Lodestone via the Lodestone network, then head south to Shantae Pass, and then use a magic carpet to get to Pollnivneach. But I do highly recommend buying a Pollnivneach teleport spell scroll just to get you here quicker. And then from here we're going to head to the quest starting point, which is being marked on the mini-map, and it's at a 10, which is just west of the agility pyramid. So you just watch where I go, and I'll show you where you need to go to. So when you arrive at the quest starting point, you should see a woman outside called the Wanderer. Make sure you got your cat out of your inventory, like walking around with you, as you need that to be able to start the quest, and you want to speak to her. So the Wanderer for some reason won't like your cat, and you want to select the option why, what's your problem with it. After some dialogue, the Wanderer will then tell you that if you get your cat away from her, she will tell you about the secret entrance to Savannah. So once you pick your cat up, speak to her again, and the Wanderer will ask for a Tinderbox and one full Waterskin. Once you give them to her, she will hypnotise you, and you'll enter a small cave. You can now use this passage to enter the city anytime. The entrance to that cave is northeast from the Wanderer's tent in the rock, just in case you happen to come out of Savannah and need to get back into it. So you will end up outside a pyramid in Savannah many hours later, and a canopic jar will appear in your inventory, which you can't bank. So what you need to do is touch the north door of the southern pyramid to begin the first flashback. There is a cat image on the door, so that's the one you want to look for. So during this quest, every now and again you experience a flashback where you remember what you did while you were hypnotised, and you need to play through these in order to progress through the quest. Dying in a flashback is no different than a normal death, so make sure you bring plenty of food with you, etc, etc. So during the first flashback, you will need to navigate through the pyramid. So as you start heading this direction, you'll see some wall crushers, which you can avoid by stepping diagonally. Just watch what my character's doing. You're basically then weaving in and out of the crushers. Once you pass the crushers, you'll find pit traps in the next hallway, and if you step on the wrong spot, you'll fall into a pit and end up at the beginning of the pyramid. So again, if you watch what my character is doing, this is the correct route you need to move in order to not fall down a pit trap. So it's quite easy to remember once you've done it a few times. So after you make it past the pit traps, you'll see some mummies level 100. They're aggressive but not very strong, and you don't have to fight them, so you can simply run past. And you will also see some scarab swarms come out of the ground occasionally, which can hit fast but not very high damage. So again, you can just simply run past all these guys. So you want to keep following around the pyramid. You'll come up to some more wall crushers. Again, just navigate through them like you did for the first lot, and again keep heading all the way around, and eventually you'll come up to a large pit. Now this pit, I will pre-warn you, is the most annoying part of this quest. Despite your agility level, weight, whatever, it's very random in order for you to get across. Like, you've got a very high fail rate. I literally fell down it about 8-9 times before I actually was able to successfully get it across. But this is what you can do to improve your chances of getting across the pit. However, like I said, it is not a guarantee. So it is recommended that you jump over the pit with the running option turned on, and have your energy up to 100%. That's meant to increase the chance of you getting across. Also, if you have both your character's hands free, it makes it more easy for him to get across the pit as well. And finally, after a few attempts of getting across and you keep failing, you can lessen your weight to help you get across. However, this will only really work if you've brought runes for Teleknetic-Grab and you can actually use the spell. So basically, you'll see what my character does. If you unequip like your main heaviest like armor you've brought with you, so like the plate body, legs and helmet, once you jump across the pit, you can then use the Teleknetic-Grab spell to grab your items from the other end of the pit back into your inventory. Obviously, the only risk factor of that is obviously if you fall down the pit after dropping your items, you want to kind of make sure you get back to them, re-obtain them, then drop them again, just so they don't end up vanishing. So the last thing I want you guys to do is lose your equipment. So but like I said, those three things are the only things you can do to help improve your chance of getting across the bit. Other than that, it is completely random. You probably will get a bit aggravated after like 10 attempts of getting across, but you will eventually do it. So just keep repeating it until you're on the other side. So once you're across the pit, you want to go to the west door and open it, and you'll need to solve a puzzle. The objective is to flip all of the tiles onto their gold side. There is no required number of flips that you must make, and there's no limit, so it's completely in your control, but you should hopefully have the same start as my one, so just watch what tiles I selected, and then you'll know how to solve it easily. Once you solve the puzzle door, you'll wake up fully healed outside the pyramid. So after you finish the flashback, talk to the Sphinx with your cat, asking for help, and she will ask you the question: a husband and wife have 6 sons. Each son has 1 sister. How many people are in the family? The answer is 9. If you guess wrongly, you will lose your cat, so make sure you do pick 9. I do not want you guys losing a cat. Once answers correctly, you will receive a Sphinx's token, so you can speak to the High Priest. And High Priest can be found on the west side of the city in the temple. You can look for like the altar icon on the mini-map as well. So once you make it to the priest, speak to him and ask him about the remains, and he will tell you that you need to put them back in the burial chamber, and that you will need the help of your cat. Before re-entering the pyramid, make sure you examine your canopic jar just to know what the jar represents, as this will matter a bit further on. Anyways, once you're ready, you want to enter the pyramid that you went to in the flashback. However, this time you're just going to right-click the door and put open, not touch. Once you click open, you should go in the pyramid like normal as you did before. So you want to navigate your way around the pyramid again like you did the first time. The traps are in the same place, the wall crushers are the same. The bonus is this time, once you get up to the pit and choose to jump across, it won't fail you, you'll just re-initiate another flashback, so that's pretty handy. So you'll be starting exactly where you left off with your last flashback. Go through the door, there'll be no puzzle this time, and you want to pick up the jar that you had in your inventory before, so hopefully you remembered. I think the game won't let you pick up the wrong jar anyway, so you shouldn't have to worry too much on that one. Depending on your jar, you will fight a different guardian god, so you'll either fight Krondis, who uses magic attacks, Scabarus, who uses melee, Amberkin, who uses magic and melee, and Het, which uses melee. Any of them are pretty easy to defeat. I don't see you having too much difficulty with those. Again, if you've got food with you, that'll help out if you start getting low health, but you should dispatch them pretty easily. Once you've defeated the relevant Guardian, you want to pick up the same jar that you tried to do a minute ago, and then you want to jump back over the pit to end the flashback. After the flashback is over, you'll say to yourself that you think you should put the canopic jar back. So go to the west door. This time you have to solve a puzzle that is identical to the previous one. Same routine as before. You literally got to turn all the tiles over, and again, if you watch my screen, you'll see how I solve it. Once you're in the room, drop the jar where you found it during the flashback, and then you want to run back through the pyramid and let yourself fall through the pit traps. Just be taken right to the beginning. That'll just save you running all the way then. Once you make it back to the beginning of the pyramid, there is a ladder. Take this ladder to exit the pyramid. So now you want to go back to the High Priest where we spoke to him before, and once you get there, he will ask if you can prepare a ceremony by helping the town's carpenter and embalmer. You'll find the embalmer to the south of the temple. If you talk to him, he will ask for a bucket of sap, linen and a bag of salt. If you haven't got the linen with you, I will show you where to get that now. So to get the linen, you want to talk to Rachel, who is found wandering around a silk store on the eastern side of Sathanam, north of the carpenter. While you're obtaining the linen, you might as well speak to the carpenter out the way as well, who will require your Willow Log to make a holy symbol and will ask you to come back in a few minutes. Go back to the embalmer and give the rest of the items to him, and he will thank you, and then you want to go speak to the carpenter to see if he's finished with the holy symbol. You may have to wait a bit for him to finish making it, and he will not work on it while you're offline, so give it a couple of minutes and then speak to him again, and hopefully he should have the symbol ready for you. So once you have the symbol, go back into the southern pyramid. You can pray at the altar if you need to restore your prayer points, and again you want to navigate through the pyramid and try to jump the pit as normal, and when you try, you'll enter another flashback. So you will find yourself outside the west room and will have an unholy symbol in your inventory. You want to go to the east room and enter it and use the symbol on any sarcophagus on the walls. Go back through the door and jump back across the pit. After the flashback ends, you will speak to yourself again, saying that you shouldn't have done that, so you now need to re-jump across the pit. Again, this is when you could start having the fail rates happen again, so do the relevant tricks you did before to get across the pit. Once you've done that, you want to go into the eastern burial chamber where you was in the flashback. After a cutscene, you'll learn that the Wanderer was behind it. She is really the Devourer, Amaska, an evil goddess, and she'll possess one of the priests. You'll now have to fight a level 80 possessed priest who attacks using bolt spells. He is really easy. If you find for some reason he's doing a lot of damage on you and you have the ability to use it, you can use Protect from Magic, but you really shouldn't have much difficulty from him. When he dies, he'll drop a full dose potion of either attack, strength, magic, defense, or agility. Talk to the High Priest again and he will thank you for your help, although it would appear another adventurer has stolen the jar again, causing a plague to remain. You will then mention how many unanswered questions there are and will collapse, experiencing yet another flashback. You'll see yourself escaping from the pyramid and you will encounter Icthlarin, god of the underworld. He sees his sister's spell and dehypnotise you with the help of the previous High Priest. You will then find yourself back in the eastern burial chamber, exit the chamber and jump back across the pit and make your way to the very start of the pyramid. Again, you can use the pit traps just to fall down to get near the front quicker, and then you can climb up the ladder to exit the pyramid, and then you want to return to the priest at the temple in the southwest part of the village and speak to him to finish the quest. So after you finish speaking to him, it will come up, congratulations, you have completed Icthlarin's Little Helper. You are awarded 2 quest points, 4,500 thieving experience, 4,000 agility and woodcutting experience, Amulet of Cat Speak, access to the city of Sathanam, 2 treasure hunter keys and 2 hearts of ice. So yeah, a very long-winded quest, and I know it is a very sort of frustrating quest as well, mainly because of that pit. The pit is going to piss so many of you off, I can just tell straight away. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do about it other than do the little tricks that I mentioned to help get across. I believe because this is such an old quest, they made it as frustrating as possible, so a lot of the newer quests now thankfully aren't as annoying as this. But overall the experience isn't too bad. The Hamlet of cat speak is quite good to use because you can then have conversations with your cat. You can actually talk to your cat about what happened when you was hypnotised by the Wanderer, and it will show a cutscene. And also completing this quest unlocks a lot of other cat related quests as well. So yeah, other than the pit, I don't think you'll run into any problems following this guide. However, if you do get stuck at all, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Cheers guys, bye bye.